And just like that, it feels like we are truly settling in to the warmer and sunnier months at last. Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to another monthly reset where we take a look back at all of my favourite bits from March and plan ahead for a new month. With nature waking up all around us, spring really is the season of hope for me, which makes goal setting at this time of year feel even more special. Okay, grab yourself a drink and let's log in. So, whilst the type A and type B halves of my personality continue to wage war on each other, I am going to do things a little bit differently for April's monthly reset, as currently the type B in me is winning out, in the sense that I just want things to be a little bit more chill, not quite so intense, I just want there to be a lot of joy in this month. I want there to be a lot of joy in spring, in summer. I still want to be organised, and I think staying on track, like the type B half of my personality needs the organisation to stay focused, but the type A side of me needs to sometimes just chill, just take a deep breath and go with the flow a little bit, because there's a lot of joy to be had in going with the flow. So for this month, and hopefully for future months as well, I'm going to add a new thing in to my reflection bit, which is going to be, I don't know what to call it, but it's my 5-3-1 approach method. I don't know what it is, but 5-3-1, which is basically going to be my 5 favourite things from the previous month that I really recommend, my 3 favourite memories from the previous month, and then my 1 favourite book from the previous month. And then we're going to go into all the normal stuff, reviewing my goals for March and then setting my goals for April, but I'm just going to do it in a bit more of a free-flowing way this month. So starting off with the fun stuff, my 5 favourite things for the month of March are, number 1 is my Slip eye mask. If you don't have one of these, you need them so much. I mentioned, I think it was in last week's vlog, can't remember exactly when, but I have been struggling to sleep the last few weeks. I never struggle with sleep, apart from at this particular time of year when the sun starts coming up earlier and earlier, which is such a blessing, but it means that I get woken up. Even with like blackout blinds and everything, I'm really sensitive to the light when I sleep. So they're from Slip, so if you know the brand, they are silk. It means they're really good for your skin and for your hair. I also, Slip, on a side note, are the only hairbands that I use. I am obsessed with them. But the reason that these are so good, and this is my like 2nd or 3rd one of these now, is because they have the eye sockets. This is called like the eyelash extensions one. It's meant to be that if you have eyelash extensions or fake eyelashes, the eye mask doesn't press on them and damage them. But I don't have fake eyelashes or eyelash extensions, and I love this because it means you can open and close your eyes whilst you've got the mask on, and you obviously then just see darkness, but you can open and close your eyes without the mask being right there, which was always the reason why I historically really didn't like eye masks. Anyway, I can only go on so much about an eye mask, but this is absolutely perfect. I use this for all of my flights. I use it every time I travel. So also a really good one if you're going on like long haul trips over the summer, or you just want to be able to get some sleep on your adventures. And I also think this one is so cute, and they have so many beautiful colours. So number 1 is the Slip eye mask. Number 2 is my yellow Abercrombie top. I felt like this just had to be on the list. I have worn it so many times, considering I only bought it a few weeks ago, and I love it. Here's a picture if you haven't seen me in it already. I'll link it. I just love this top so much. I just think it's so chic, so fun, so spring. Ticks all my boxes. So I've loved wearing that top. The 3rd one is a beauty one, and it's my mascara. I don't know why I've had extra appreciation for it this month. It's the mascara I've always used. I think this is the best mascara in the world. I don't want to say never, because I'm always open to trying new things, but I'm pretty confident nothing will ever beat this. I am entirely wedded to my mascara. This will be my wedding day mascara, and it is the Hourglass Unlocked Instant Extensions Mascara. Lately I've been really feeling and appreciating the power of a good lash, and I've actually been really debating getting a lash lift and tint. I don't really need the tint part, but a lash lift I think I'd really like, so I'm not having to curl my eyelashes, because naturally mine just kind of stick straight out. And I have had eyelash extensions before, and it just wasn't really for me because it's so much money, and I felt like they were just a little bit annoying for me. I just didn't love it, and I'm not very good at uncomfortable beauty things. I'm just ended up like wanting to pull them out and fidgeting with them too much, so it doesn't suit me. I think I would really like to try lash lift, but then I've seen a lot of horror stories about people's eyelashes just like snapping and all being like ruined from the lash lift stuff. But in the meantime, whilst I'm being too indecisive about that, this is the best stuff. And I can only imagine how good this would look on top of a lash lift, which is why I'm tempted. But the Hourglass Unlocked, I'll link it as well. But I've just been really appreciating my mascara lately, even though it's been one of my staples for years. 4th thing is my Kindle. I've always been a Kindle girly, like I've always been Kindle obsessed. But again, this month, I just haven't wanted to read a single book that I couldn't download on my Kindle first. Even if I've already had the physical copy, I wanted to get the Kindle copy so I could read it on here. I just love a Kindle. I will preach Kindles forever. They are so convenient. It makes reading in bed so easy, especially if you share a bed with somebody else, because you can turn all the lights off and you can still read with the backlight. I can read my Kindle in the bath without feeling like the pages are all going to get wet and ruined. I also feel like reading a physical book is a two-handed situation, whereas reading a Kindle is with one hand, and I can drink my tea, drink my glass of wine, drink my water or whatever I want with one hand while holding my Kindle in the other. I can just go on. And I can also take this traveling with me, again, for going into spring, summer. If you don't have a Kindle yet and you're a bit of a reader, what are you waiting for? Get yourself a Kindle, because you can take a whole library with you on holiday, and you don't have to have the weight of physical copy books coming with you everywhere. Everything is just here. My Kindle is actually so old, I don't even think they sell it anymore, but I will link the Kindle that I most recommend and the Kindle that I'll be buying myself once this dies. And considering I did water damage it so badly over Christmas, I don't know how long it's gonna last. So I'll link the Kindle that I would recommend, but I've been loving my Kindle in the month of March. And my final favourite for the last month has actually been these earrings, which you may or may not have noticed me wearing. I feel like I've been wearing them non-stop. I can't remember when I bought them for myself. Maybe before Christmas last year. I'm not sure. I've had them for a few months, but they are from Anthropologie and I just love them. I am not either like a silver gal or a gold gal. I really like to mix my metals. And these little hard earrings that are, the heart is gold and then the little hoop is silver. I just think they're so cute and so sweet. In a weird way, they're kind of giving me like 2014, 2015 Pandora. I just really love them and I think they're so cute and so fun, and I just feel like they're tying all my jewelry together at the moment, because it means I can wear a bit of silver, a bit of gold, and if I've got these on as well, it just like pulls everything. I don't know, they're just really sweet. I love them so much. Oh, I've just dropped the heart. I'll pick that up in a second. They're just really sweet and really fun, and I highly recommend. They're also so comfortable. I keep falling asleep with them in and not realising that I've been wearing them, so I love those. Okay, so those are the 5 things I was really loving in March that have made me happy over the last month. Now, definitely the most important bit out of the 531 is my 3 favourite memories. So memory number 1, these are not actually in any particular order. 1 is looking after Livy, so looking after one of my best friend's babies. This memory probably is the number 1 memory of the month.
Be this close forever. Take me out, take me home. What's P doing? You're my, yeah! Are we best friends? Mwah. You gonna crawl and get it? You gonna crawl and get it?
It was, first of all, just like the biggest honour, and just felt so special to be asked to look after someone's baby, and it was such a big deal for her to be trialing going back to work. She has a number of days before she returns to work fully that she is using to kind of ease herself back into work before she goes back full time. And this was her first one, and to trust me or to ask me to look after like the most important thing to her on a day when she was going back into work. The whole thing just, I felt very honoured, and then it just really felt like a proper teamwork day where like me and Livy, the baby, and my friend Amelia, like we were all just one team, just like tackling the day in our own unique ways. Like Livy was so brave being without her mum for the first time, and Amelia was so brave going into work and leaving her behind, and I feel like I was brave looking after a baby when I don't have a baby and I don't have much experience with babies. It was just a really special day. It was the funnest, best day ever, and also the hardest for no real reason. It gave me such an insight into motherhood. Like nothing about the day was technically hard, but just wanting Livy to be happy so intensely just meant that like my body was like full on adrenaline, and then every time she'd like start to cry, or if she was ever like a bit moany about something, I was like, oh my god, I just want you to be happy. I just want you to be happy so much. What can I do to make you happy? And then obviously sometimes babies just do cry, or it's the only way they can express their emotions. Anyway, there's only so much I can go on about it, but that was just a really special memory and I loved that day so much. The second is that Cameron took me on a date to play golf last week, and that sounds like it's a date for him, but it really wasn't. I have been asking him for ages if he can take me to play golf or just to try it, because I'm honestly, my hand-eye stick coordination is terrible. Hand-eye ball coordination is not that bad. I played netball at school and I feel like I can throw and catch just fine. But when there's an extra stick involved, it just all completely goes wrong. And so I count like lacrosse sticks in that. I did play lacrosse as well, but not very well. Lacrosse stick, hockey stick. Anyway, the golf club falls in the same category. But he took me to the driving range and the whole thing was like a bit of a surprise, and he bought us a bucket of balls and the weather was beautiful and we just had such a fun time.
There you go. That was a great...
And we've really been trying to get out of the house and do more dates in the sunshine. I just think Cameron and I and our relationship comes alive during the summer. I think it's like the spring, summer, and then Christmas that are like our times that we thrive. But that was just so fun. I literally went from at the beginning like swinging the golf club and just like it flying over the top of the wall and not making any contact to actually hitting some pretty good shots at the end of it. So I really want to keep practicing. I really want to keep playing in the hopes that at some point Cameron and I could actually go and play together. Well, like, let's start with 9 holes. Maybe one day I'll do 18. I think I'd get bored of 18. But if I could take my Kindle on the golf cart, if I could take a little drink with me, you never know. It could be a total blast. So I really enjoyed that. And then the third favourite memory of March was actually last weekend, was Mother's Day weekend. My sister wasn't able to be around for Mother's Day and neither was my dad. And so it was actually me, my mum and my brother, which is not like a trio that are ever just together as a trio very often, because usually we're either all together or it might be like me and my sister and my mum just doing things together. But it was me, my mum and my brother, and we had such a nice time. And actually I count that whole weekend as my favourite memory, one of my favourite memories from the month, because on the Friday I did see my sister and my mum together. Me and my mum went to go and see my sister because we knew she wasn't going to be able to come with us on the Sunday for the actual Mother's Day day. And so I got to spend time with my brother and my sister and my mum. My dad's actually away, so I didn't get to see him. But it was just a really lovely weekend. We went on some walks, we went to some National Trust areas where we could just do some really lovely walks. And there's like a new Ottolenghi restaurant in Richmond that we went to go and try, which is really lovely. So we had some lovely food. It was just a really lovely family weekend. So those are my 3 favourite memories from the month. I love this. I think I'm gonna have to do a reflection of this every single month. Yeah, that's making me very smiley. And then finally, favourite book of the month. I know I'm already cheating at my own game, but I don't know if I can choose just one. I've got 2 here. You might just have to forgive me and we'll have 2 this month. But I am gonna really try and whittle it down to 1, but the 2 that I'm finding it very hard to choose between are, first up, Six of Crows. I'm obviously going to do all my bookish stuff on my book videos, but just bear with me for a minute because I think both of these books are fantastic no matter what your reading taste. Six of Crows is, they describe it as a combination of Game of Thrones meets Ocean's 11, and to be honest, it is exactly like that. I would also say, having finished it, that it's like Ocean's 11 meets Game of Thrones meets Peaky Blinders, and it's so fantastic. Like, the found family in this was incredible. I'm not going to gush about it too much, but it is a heist, it's an adventure, it's a group of criminals that all go and take on an impossible heist together as a group. The relationships between all of the different individuals that are in the team that are going on the heist are so funny and so entertaining. Feels super high stakes. I was like gripped and on the edge of my seat. Everybody told me that I was going to love this book, and I seriously did. It was so good. So my first one is Six of Crows, and then the second one, I actually just finished it yesterday, which is why it's maybe just so top of mind, but it feels like this book is so perfect for me personally, and that is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. This is a YA romance, and it's a story between Wes and Liz, and it's really just like a really sweet high school romance, but it's called Better Than the Movies, and at the beginning of every single chapter is a quote from a rom-com, whether that's like Bridget Jones, When Harry Met Sally, You've Got Mail, just all of the old classic 90s, early 2000s rom-coms. And this book is just littered with references from all of my absolute favourite films, and it's about a girl who, her and her mum just absolutely love rom-coms, and they've seen them all so many times, and she loves the soundtracks of all those rom-coms, which like so do I. So it was just really fun and sweet and wholesome and wonderful in such a lovely way. It was my first Lynn Painter book, but I definitely want to read more by her because it was just lovely. So we've got a very sweet YA romance and a high stakes, very stressful heist, and I loved them both. So that is my failing at saying one favourite book of the month. Okay, now let's move on to actual goals. So really quickly speeding through my March goals and whether I hit them or not, or what my progress towards them was. My first one was doing 10k steps a day, and I hit that just under 70% of the time. It depends when I was actually finishing that goal, because to me it's just like an ongoing one. And at the beginning of the month I missed the mark more, and then towards the end of the month I've been hitting it way often. I also had quite a few days this month where I did really long walks where it just kind of was a bit of a fluke, but basically once a week I ended up going on like a 2-hour, 2.5-hour walk, which was so long, but I just had that scheduled in as plans. Like I went on a couple of family dog walks that just ended up being very long walks. So I kind of count on the days when I did almost 20,000 steps, that I could kind of spread those across some of the other days, in which case I definitely did probably closer to 75-80% I'd hit. So I'm really happy with that actually. I want to keep that up, but it's not actually one of my goals for April. We'll get to those in a second. My second goal was to get on TikTok. That didn't happen, that completely failed. I don't think I can go on TikTok at the moment. Every time I open the app, it just feels negative. It just, it feels like there's just drama, especially because the side of TikTok that I would like to be on is like book talk. And it just feels like there's always something stressful going on over there. So for now, I'm happy with YouTube and Instagram. That's plenty for me to be on at the moment. And then the third one, which is the most fun, and I'm gonna do a whole wedding update video soon, but I found my wedding dress. It still feels like I haven't actually paid my deposit, so I haven't locked it in, but I think, I do know, but I think I know it feels so hard to pull the trigger, but I found my wedding dress in March, which was my goal for March, and it happened. So I went with my mum last week, so she's the only one that's seen it. And I think we've got it. Okay, let's talk about upcoming goals for April, because we can just roll straight on, because my first one is actually paying the deposit for my dress. I don't know why it feels so stressful to do that, but I want to pay the deposit, lock it in, and then that's it. Like, that is the dress. I think I found it very hard to choose one, because I'm not someone that like has a lot of fancy events where I wear a lot of amazing dresses and things like that. So every single dress I put on just felt so cool and so fun, and I loved so many of them. And there's so many different options of different dresses you could go for. Ones that are really dramatic or like really like hard-hitting fashion couture that are something really different that not everybody wears. You can go really timeless, elegant English. You can go really whimsical and have colour and sparkle. Like there's so many options for what you can do. In the end, I've just gone for the one that made me like that felt or that feels the most me, and whether that is underwhelming or overwhelming, you know, we'll see what you guys think when we get there. I hope you like it, but really the only thing that matters is that I like it and it makes me feel the most comfortable, the most me, and I've chosen it. So I want to pay my deposit for my dress. I also want to go to 4 Pilates classes this month. I have been umming and ahhing about this one because I do pay for a gym membership, so I've been really reluctant to pay for Pilates classes on top of that historically, but I think it's just something I really want to do. There's a really beautiful Pilates studio that I want to start going to. I've been to a couple of classes there and they were really good. So I think I'm just going to do 1 a week for April. I might not stick with 1 a week forever, but for April I want to go to 4 Pilates classes. I also really need to book an eye test. That's more of a to-do thing than an actual goal, but it's been on my list for a while now, so I've got it done. So I've put it on the goals list to make sure it actually happens. Need to book an eye test. I really want to start my wedding diaries series on Instagram. So my plan is to do a series on Instagram where I basically am doing all of the wedding things that I need to do over the next 12 months and sharing it with you. I want to start trialing makeup. I'm got an actual makeup trial with my makeup artist in December, but I want to start seeing what products I actually want to wear. I'm thinking a lot of it's probably going to be Charlotte Tilbury, but I want to start trialing my makeup. I want to start packaging and sending out my invites. I'm going to talk you through how I'm making my own invites. I'm going to talk you through how I'm making my invites, what I did for my save the dates, because those have all gone out, what wedding website I'm using, any skincare I want to do pre-wedding, any treatments I want to have done pre-wedding, where I'm shopping for like shoes and jewelry and perfumes and all that stuff. Basically, I want to get myself organized, and so I thought a good way to do that was organize it into a bit of a series on Instagram, and then it's organized for me, and that way I think is probably the best way for me to share it with you as well. Next, I really want to do some more gardening this month. I've been saying this for years. If you've been around since like 2022, I think was when I started this channel, when I probably was talking about gardening then, you all have permission to roll your eyes at me and say you've been saying that every year. But this year, I actually today did an order for some dahlia tubers, and I don't know how many I bought. I spent £25, that was my limit, and I've bought a number of dahlia tubers. I think that got me 7 tubers or something like that. Not loads, clothes. I just bought one of each type. The options were to buy them in packs of 1, 3 or 6, and I just bought one of each type. So I don't know if I've actually not got very many, but I've bought my dahlias. I'm so excited to plant them. We're not going away much this summer. Well, we're very lucky. We're going away for a week. But apart from that, hopefully I'm just going to be chilling in our garden, enjoying our lovely house. And I want to make sure that I'm surrounded by lots of lovely flowers. So doing some more gardening in April because I need to get my stuff planted now in order to actually enjoy a floral garden for the rest of the summer. Then I also just want to get a little bit better at sharing more like fashion beauty content. It's not like necessarily a core thing of mine, but I just want to practice playing around with creating content that's a little bit outside my comfort zone, because so often you guys ask me for how to style certain things or for my makeup routine or for my hair routine, and I know this sounds really silly, but I'm just not sure how to film it, or I haven't like practiced. So that's more of just something like a personal challenge to just work out how best to share that type of content with you in a way that feels right for me, because I think a lot of the content that I see is like very posed and very perfect. I find fashion and beauty content quite intimidating because often the girls that are sharing it their skin is flawless, so therefore the makeup goes on flawlessly, and the way they style the outfits is like so cool or so chic, and I don't know if I necessarily know how to do that. And then like the way they pose, they have like a cool girl vibe, and I'm like, I think if I posed like in some of these ways, everyone would just laugh. Like I would laugh. So need to work that out, how best to share that. And I think that is it. I think those are all of my goals. None of those are like personal, friends, family experience goals, which usually I like to have some of those in. But to be honest, I don't really need to set any because we've got a lot of time built in. We've got a hen do next weekend, which is obviously time with friends. We've got dinner booked in the weekend before with a different group of friends. We're going away for Easter with all of my family, which will be lovely. We've got a 30th birthday this month. We've kind of got a lot of family and friends stuff like already booked in. So it's kind of just going to take care of itself this month. Oh, the only other thing that I haven't got on here, which is normally I have something in here in relation to finance as well. My main thing is not actually, so I'm not really sure if this counts. It's not a finance goal, but as part of my Notion template that I'm in the process of refining, I have like a personal finance template within that, like a personal finance page that I use to organize all my finances. Cameron, it's obviously the template and the setup that Cameron gave me, so it's not mine, it's Cameron's, but I manage all my finances in there, and I'm just kind of finishing off. My goal for April is to finalize my finance template page within my Notion so that is fully finished, and then from May onwards I can start using like the final version of it. Because seriously, once I learned to track my personal finances, I just feel like the whole game changes. The whole game changes once you know exactly what you're spending on what. So I want to get that finished, and then my Notion template is basically done, to be honest, which is so cool because I have nearly been out of my corporate job for a whole year. I left at the end of April basically, so the 1st of May was my first day of being unemployed or being employed by YouTube instead, self-employed. And that is basically when I started trying to find new ways to organize my life, to celebrate my hobbies, to try and bring that type A, type B, like those two sides of me together in a way that felt really authentic to me and would help my type B side feel a sense of direction and feel organized, and help my type A side just like experience a bit of joy. I track like my hobbies and my reading and lots of other things that just like bring me a lot of happiness through my Notion template as well. So I just feel like I've been working on that for a full year now, which is so cool, and I've nearly finished. The finance page is the final page to get done, and I'm gonna feel like, cool, my life takes care of itself now. Okay, I've been prattling on for a while as usual. If you've made it all the way to this point, then I would love you to stick the blue butterfly emoji in the comments so I can see you and say hi, and let me know what you're looking forward to in April. If you have anything exciting coming up, let me get excited with you. I'm not sure I've actually ever said this, but if you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps me out so much. And as always, if you need anything, advice, links, just want to chat, then drop me a DM on Instagram. My handle's the same as over here. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you're having such a lovely week. April's going to be a wonderful month for us all. I'm sending you so much love and joy and happiness your way, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one. Bye guys.